throw the bigger one with 2 strikes as opposed to with 1 strike, and just gives you a little bit more freedom.
You've talked about like the big game thing, but just to have another like strong World Series start like this, like how gratifying are these moments to you?
You know, I've told you guys that's kind of all I care about, but it makes it makes kind of the regular season worth it for me.
Go to Russ in the 4th row on your left.
Walker, you talked about late in the season that you didn't know at the time if you had the stuff to get guys out. Seeing what you've been able to do over the last 2 starts, what do you feel like you've been able to find?
You know, I think, as kind of brutal as this to say, like, it takes that adrenaline and that stuff to kind of really get me going kind of mentally. And, you know, I don't know if I wish I would have felt that all year. I could tell you I'm so excited to pitch every single game I've ever gone out there, but there is something different in the playoffs. And I think, at least long term for me, like, to get through this playoffs, at least in the way that I have, like, it's really encouraging for me personally, just because I know it's in there and I just kind of got to unlock it a little bit. But that feeling of there's an organization relying on me today to win a playoff game, I think is kind of the weight that I like feeling, and kind of gets me in a certain place mentally that it's kind of hard to replicate.
Stay in the 4th row on your left, Walker.
What's the feeling being 1 game away from a World Series championship?
I'm excited to watch our guys go tomorrow and see what happens. So, you know, I'll be ready if there's a Game 7, but my hope is that I don't have to throw anymore.
Go to the 4th row on your right, Walker.
Hey, Walker, how you doing?
Great.
Yeah. How does it feel going into 5 shutout innings in such a crucial World Series game?
How does it feel before or after?
During.
It's great. We all listen, man. We play professional baseball for a living. When it's going good, there's not much else you'd rather do on this earth.
1 row behind.
Walker, you had some pretty good outfield defense behind you tonight. What did you see first on the Mookie play, and then on the Teoscar play in that 4th inning? Yeah, you know, the Mookie play was interesting. He kind of, obviously, the ball was spinning a little weird and kind of stepped back for a second and then made the play. He's won a few Gold Gloves out there, so that's something we kind of expect for him. And you know, Teo threw Stanton out at home, and I got in the dugout and I said, they don't know about you in New York. Like, you know, you'd think they would remember what he did when we played here in the regular season. And, you know, pretty cool for him to show off, you know, the other side of the ball and kind of put a perfect throw, and Will put the tag on. So, yeah, that was a big momentum play. I think, obviously, the first couple innings, I was kind of going pretty smooth. And for them to get a little momentum and us shut it down that way was pretty cool.
Anything else for Walker? I'll finish up in that same row.
Yeah, Walker, just with everything that you've been through injury-wise and for the team having kind of a weird World Series in 2020, did you at any moment today kind of allow yourself to think, like, wow, World Series game, Yankee Stadium, sold-out crowd, like, this is pretty special?
First off, what was weird in 2020 to you?
Well, just playing a World Series in, like, a stadium that was not, you know, normal.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this was my 3rd World Series game, and they've kind of gone similarly. Like, there's a thing for me that whatever pride or whatever weight I feel seems to come out somehow beneficial for us. And, you know, I think this team is just different than the teams we've had before in terms of the way that we operate in there with the 26 guys that are active that day. There's this bond that's kind of different, and, you know, we play for each other. That play from Teo is kind of significant in terms of what I'm saying, in that, like, okay, I slipped a little, I gave up a couple hits, and we cover it. Like, I haven't been on that many teams that we cover each other the way that this team does, and I've also never been on a team that's up 3-0 in the World Series.
All right, Walker, great job tonight. Thank
Thanks.
you for your time. That concludes the postgame.
Walker Buehler, effective again over his last 2 starts, 9 innings of scoreless baseball, 5 hits, 11 punch-outs. Clark Schmidt was ineffective, and the bullpen had to come in and try to keep the damage limited. And, well, it was a 4-2 game. Walker Buehler, a free agent after this season, pitching for his next contract, pitching for a ring. The Dodgers 1 win away from their 8th World Series title in franchise history.